Well, today, on nominations, Republicans will move forward with a Trojan horse of a nominee package, confirming in one fell swoop a slew of horribly unqualified, shockingly radical nominees. All year long, Senate Republicans have bent the knee to Donald Trump, giving him every nominee he's asked for. No matter how unqualified, no matter how unfit they are, no matter how bad this nominee package is. It's much different than any nominee package we've seen. Democrats oppose these people, as you'll see in a minute, because they're just totally unqualified to be in the important positions he's trying to place them in. No wonder the Republicans didn't want to have votes on these people, didn't want to have discussion, because when the American people learn who they are, they're aghast that these types of people would be appointed. So yes, Democrats want votes. We want at least an hour or two of discussion to fill these important positions. Leader Thune said, oh, we're just doing this for partisan political reasons. Here's what he said exactly. He said, Democrats must be doing one of two things, Thune said. Either the president has been nominating historically bad nominees, or Democrats are simply being partisan. Well, Leader Thune, that's obvious, Leader Thune. It's that Donald Trump is nominating historical bad nominees. That's why we're doing this. I mean, there are so many. I could spend hours on the floor talking about them. But let me mention a few, just a few. And when you hear what's going on, America, you'll be aghast. Look at the nomination of Sarah Bailey to serve as Director of National Drug Control Policy. They're trying to sneak this one through. Of course, they would be afraid of a discussion or a vote or who she is coming to light. Bailey has no background in medicine, no background in public health, no background in law enforcement. She is so radical, Bailey is, that even Fox News' news shows banned her. But you know what she has going for her? Why she was nominated for an important position with no experience? She said the January 6th rioters were, quote, good Americans. That was her ticket to getting this job. All you have to do is tell Donald Trump he was right about January 6th, even though he was so obviously wrong and dangerous in what he did then. But all you have to do is tell him, oh, they were good Americans, and that's good enough for Donald Trump. And now Senate Republicans have gone down to his level, and it's good enough for them. Republicans are also trying to sneak through people like Anthony D'Esposito to be the Inspector General, the watchdog of the Department of Labor. This is a former member of the House who put his mistress on his congressional payroll and has faced a slew of misconduct allegations as a police officer. That's not anyone's definition of a good watchdog, unless you're Senate Republicans. Someone who faced misconduct allegations and put his mistress on the payroll is now the watchdog at the Department of Labor? Give me a break. Of course they want to hide these nominees. They're embarrassed about him. They know that Donald Trump has the lowest standard of any president we've ever seen for qualifications to important positions. There's John Bartram, who Republicans want to appoint as Undersecretary for Health at the Department of Veteran Affairs. What's his claim to fame? He was instrumental in firing VA staff, tearing up VA contracts, politicizing VA research. That's just three. There are so many more that are just appalling. Yeah, we Democrats, of course, want to see votes on these nominees. We don't want to allow them to just be all voted yes in a big package, so their lack of qualification, their lack of honor, their lack of honesty, their past records can be hidden. But Republicans are ashamed of who they have to vote for. They should vote against these nominees. But they're afraid of Donald Trump. It's very clear what Republicans are doing. They're trying to pull a fast one on the American people and sneak through an entire henhouse of bad nominees without giving them the scrutiny that the American people demand. And you know, when you choose bad nominees, you pay a price. Trump picked Hegseth for Secretary of Defense, who I talked about a few minutes ago. He had no qualifications to be Secretary of Defense. The only way he got through was arm twisting from some Republicans who knew he shouldn't be in that position. And now Trump and the administration and Senate Republicans who voted for him are paying a price because it's so obvious he's screwing up left and right. So when you put in these bad nominees, when you either sneak them through or bludgeon them through, the administration and unfortunately the American people pay a very significant price. This nominee package is a perfect symbol of what this majority has been about from day one, bowing to Donald Trump, rubber stamping his unqualified loyalists, and chipping away at the Senate's role as a check on a highly abusive executive. I yield the floor and note the absence of a quorum.